I must learn to live without you now. I must learn.
In our first year of operation, 2006, our first full year of operation, we did almost 90,000 pounds of fish, which is better than 25% of the total state production. Comparatively, for the old system, we used to do about 20 to 25,000 pounds annually, so we tripled or almost quadrupled production on the same amount of water. To raise the kind of fish that we're raising here now on the same amount of water that we used to raise before, we couldn't do it without this huge tank that we're sitting here right here. This is our liquid oxygen tank. For the most part, our DO, our dissolved oxygen, is very good throughout the course of the year. It's just when we get into late July, August, September, when we're carrying our peak biomass or peak pounds of fish on station here, that this baby, we live or die with this thing. We like to maintain it about 80% saturation, we call it. Try to keep it between 7 and 8 parts per million.
8 parts per million?
7 to 8. Ideally.
Are they going to test during the week? The water?
Yeah, we're going to do a little test here actually with a meter, so you can see the differences between what goes in and what comes out, so you can see that firsthand.
So what is the temperature of the
right now we're at about 13.5 degrees Celsius, which is looking at 55, 56 degrees Fahrenheit probably, somewhere thereabouts. We try to maintain that throughout the course of the summer. 4 bulbs each. And it's just an open channel. The water flows through the channel, and as it does, it sterilizes the water that passes through it. It doesn't really kill the organisms that are in there, it just sterilizes them so they can't reproduce. Basically makes them ineffective as pathogens. Basically a simple rectangular box, if you will. Very efficient at what it does. The oxygen from that bulk tank outside is injected basically underneath the feet here into this tank. See the hose line there. And as the water percolates down through these channels in this chamber, it provides the most optimum efficiency use of oxygen being absorbed into the water that you can get. We use a few backpacks, or they're actually hiked in on foot and packed in that way. Those fish are usually very small. Probably looking at no bigger than a couple inches or so. We use these big trucks. This is our mainstay, if you will. This is where the majority of stocking is done. If we can't get into a body of water with this big truck, that's what we have the four-wheel drive for. There are some waters that we have or need to utilize four-wheel drive access. And this one here is set up with what we call an oxygen system backup. We need some means to help us out during emergency situations. If the truck were to mechanically shut down on us, we need to make sure the fish are going to survive, hopefully. And one of the ways we do this is with this oxygen system backup. This is where our technology is headed in the state. Not only does this back up our system, but it also shortens some of our trip loads up, if you will, because we can carry more pounds of fish per tank because the O2 is on board. Another advantage to these round tanks is each tank has a fresh batch of water. It's a linear raceway situation where I'll show you some pictures here in a minute. Each step down in the raceway line has a decrease in water quality. This system here, each tank is a brand new batch of fresh water source. The original design of this tank run had none of these extensions that you see. So water came from this manifold, dropped into the tank. There was probably a 1-foot differential. We had some issues last September. We actually lost a few fish. It was due to oxygen depletion. And we found out that we were losing 20 to 30% for oxygen bleeding off. When you're running on the edge, every little bit helps. That's why we did the fence, jumping into the water. Got a nice color. See some nice orange red bellies. A lot of people say that they can tell the difference between a stock trout and a native trout. Sometimes it's very difficult. I'll color it up like this.
That's the way to fish. That's the way to catch it. You think those fish are happy? No. They're jumping for joy. Good, well done. Good work, guys.
Thanks, guys. The average was 23.7. Each sample count was 5 kilos each, so we divide that by 5. So each fish, or each kilo was, I should say, 4.7 fish per kilogram. Okay? We know how many fish we need. We need 200 fish. We take the 200 fish, divide by the 4.7. We came up to 43 kilograms total for the 200 fish. We threw in 3 samples at 5 kilograms each. That was 15. We threw in one and we didn't count. So 20. Subtract 20 from the 43. We need an additional 23. Okay? Make sure you study your math.
Ready, Sam?
Good job.
Let the bucket in the water. Keep the bucket above the water.
Yeah.